All right, we have a very special guest with us today. Born in Gosford on the central coast of New South Wales and raised in the waves of Shelley Beach, she has made a huge impact on the world stage of the championship tour with elite level wins and barrier-breaking performances. And now, after yesterday, she is a goddamn world champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Australia's Molly Picklum. Molly, congratulations, and thank you for coming on the lineup.
Thanks for having me. And every time I do these interviews and hear the intro, it's starting to sink in. So I appreciate it. What a trip. That's crazy. I'm a little...
We're talking to you one day after your historic win. I'd imagine you've been put to work today. You've been busy today?
For sure. Yeah, it's cool though. It just lets you soak and marinate in what unfolded.
Yeah, and I'd imagine you're probably going to be thinking about it differently today than you did yesterday, and probably 6 months from now it'll feel even different. But 24 hours ago, you won the world title, and just give us your base impressions 24 hours later. How are you feeling about it today? How do you feel about your achievement?
Yeah, it's just so cool. It's just so cool that I'm a part of that club of world champions and that I get to take it home and share that with literally all my loved ones in my community, like the Central Coast. And it's just the coolest thing ever.
Well, very well earned. You have won the world title in the last year of the finals era. You're world number one entering the event, so you would have won the world title in aggregate ranking. It's going to change next year. Now, this year we had a unique rule change where if you won the first final match as the number one seed, you would have won the world title. You didn't. Caroline won that first match, so you were a bit on the back foot and had to win two in a row. What was going on in between that first match when you lost and the second one? Right, yeah. It's a good rule change. But in the middle of those two heats, what flipped for you?
Yeah. If you capitalized on it.
It was good for Yago, we'll put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. It was good if you capitalized on it. But, yeah, I didn't. So I had to then win two heats in a row. And, yeah, I guess after the first heat, I just didn't do anything that I wanted to in the first heat. So I was still like, well, it kind of doesn't need to say anything or change anything. I'm still going to try and do what I want to do here and catch better waves and stay on my feet, and I did that, and then the momentum just kind of started rolling. I guess it's kind of is true, the whole warming up. She was surfing all day, right. And then I just I guess needed that warm up surf. I don't know. It was kind of heavy though. I wish I could have just done it straight away, but yeah, I really had to rise to that occasion and come in with two heat wins.
Yeah, it is one of those things. Every surfer is different, and obviously every position in the finals format's different. And the knock on being the number one seed is you're basically standing on the train tracks watching your contender move down the tracks towards you and building momentum. If you had to do it all over again, and you've been in the finals before, do you prefer being the one seed, or do you prefer kind of coming up from another position?
Oh, there's no undoubtable, you want to come in number one. Every bit of the advantage is that. It doesn't matter now. The format's gone for the foreseeable future. But, yeah, it's just I don't know. I was never about, you try and get in second or third so that you're not risking it. Why would you even risk a potential heat loss? Get yourself so that you guarantee yourself a title match. Yeah. And then I guess if I was coming in again, I just wish I was, a bit more switched on for the first heat. I think I was just a bit too keen to surf.
It makes sense. And we actually spoke to Yago earlier, and he made it a point to say, I'm coming out firing on getting a high score right away. I'm going to put the energy on my plate instead of Griffin's. But I think one of the things that's interesting, Caroline Marks, she's a world champ. She's had an amazing season, but I think before the final day, the stat came out that she'd only gotten one excellent scoring ride all year. She's just been an amazingly consistent surfer. You, on the other hand, have had a slew of excellent scoring rides, and that's kind of what happened in that second and third match. You really just rose to excellency in those conditions. You got the best tube of the entire event, and it looked like your board was on point. And I'm wondering, like, it doesn't seem like you really want to change the way you approach surfing, regardless of what event it is. You're always trying to kind of perform in the excellent range.
Yeah, it's actually a really good point, Dave. And I think what you're saying is kind of where I can get caught out at times. Like, I think being a competitor, sometimes it's not an excellent heat. Just, it's simple.
Right.
Just get a longer, slopier wave, and that'll get you a heat win. And I think for me, I kind of, like, it's a strength and a weakness. Like, it wins me more heats than it's probably lost me, but it's lost me heats for sure. And like exactly what you said is kind of what happened in that first heat.
Yeah.
But yes, I strive for excellence for sure.
You strive and you often succeed. Let's put it that way. You know, this part of your story is basically apocryphal at this point. And it's a few years ago, I believe you're on the Challenger Series. You're having kind of a rough time competing. I believe Glenn Hall was your coach. And I think you were in South Africa, Ballito. And you were kind of at a position where you're like, I can't stick anything. I can't land anything. I don't want to surf anymore. And there's some story about golfing and a bit of a reset. I'm not going to ask you to retell that story, but I do want you to reflect on the fact that that was only a few years ago that psychologically you were like, I might not be a professional surfer. Flash forward to today, you're the world champ. That is an amazing turn of events.
For sure. I just think it's a kid growing up. Like, I took, I guess, back then on the challenges, like, aspiring to be on this tour and want a pro surfing career. And you just, like, I don't know, like, get lost in it and take it serious and lose the fun and the love for it. And it's so easy to do, I think, once you start taking it a bit too serious. And I just think I got lost for a little bit there in myself, like, didn't know if it was matching up kind of how I wanted to do it, and just growing up, like, just figuring out what actually makes me smile, what gives me energy, what doesn't, and all that sort of stuff. And then South Africa, and then you're competing while you're trying to figure everything out, so then you have all these wild stories that not surfing and going golfing ends up helping you surfing, when it's just like, it's just all the process of trying to let go and just free yourself up to do what you love and give it a go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I remember correctly, and I guess we're all speaking personally, you came on my radar, I think you were very young, but it was in the Postcards from Morgues film. So this is 5-6 years ago. Surfing was awesome. I think your acting was even better, which is saying something because you were ripping in that film. But as you pointed out, like, you've had to kind of grow up in the spotlight, you know, like, you're only 22 years young. You're already the world champ. And we're talking in the last few years, like, most kids are still in high school. Most kids are kind of figuring it out. There's quite a lot of pressure on young athletes to figure it out under the bright lights of international stardom.
Yeah, for sure. But I think there's definitely a dark side to it. Like, it can ruin a childhood. It can, like, make people, like, go into some dark spaces for sure. But for me, it was never that. Like, you just get lost and you're just trying to figure it out. And I don't know, you just kind of, like, you learn so much, though, in sport and in life. Like, at such a rapid pace because, there's pressure and, like, I don't know, you just learn so quick when you're, like, under the lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes total sense to me.
Like, everything's being highlighted, so everything shines out, what you're doing good, what you're doing bad. Like, nothing goes unseen, so you never just, like, get to trickle little lessons. It's always just like, here it is in your face.
It's high stakes learning for sure. You know, one of the things that most core surfers were commenting on yesterday was just how good your boards looked, or your board, I should say. Believe you're still riding a Darren Hanley DHD design. He finished second on this year's CT Shaper rankings. You were a huge part of that.
I did him good.
You did. I want you to talk specifically about that board you had in the final. What model was it? What were the dims?
Yeah, Darren and I were on an absolute heater this year. We had some incredible boards for all different locations too. You know, sometimes you kind of have a magic board, but it's kind of just for high performance surfing and, like, maybe for snapper or burley or lowers. Like, but everywhere we went, I had great boards under my feet, and yeah, I don't know. I just was like working with him and chatting to him a bit way more and just working in with him. So the board though that I was riding yesterday was actually the same board I rode in J-Bay. And I loved it. It just felt like it started in the water. It's a DNA round tail, and it's a bit of a step up, 2-inch step up. So it was 510 DNA round tail, and yeah, for me, it just felt like it sits in the water. So I could just have like, I don't know, just heaps of control and precision with that board. Yeah, it just like in waves like that, that's so powerful. I don't really want to be sitting on top of the water. I just want to be in, cutting sharp lines and having maximum control, trying to. There was some wobbly moments.
Well, now that board in particular has a world title to its stringer. Are you going to keep riding it, or does it go in like a place of honor back home for you?
I don't know. I actually lost my boards on the boats because like after the finals finished, the jet skis whipped us in and my boards were gone everywhere. So I guess when I get the board back, then take it home, we'll see. I don't know. I think, though, it'll just stay in there. It's magic. It could bring me more heat wins.
I love that answer. You know, when you're in the water, you're obviously by yourself. You got to do it by yourself. But out of the water, everyone needs their own support team. And you had a really high quality one in Fiji. Can you give us some names and background on who was there supporting you and what roles they were playing?
Yeah. I think it's like the best part of our job, creating a team to have the most fun on the road. So this year I've like tried to just like play around with a few different things, and coach here was Mitchell Ross, which obviously famously known to be supporting Carissa through all her world titles and her journey, and he's also just like an Aussie from Newey up the road from me, and I hadn't spent much time with him at all. It's pretty funny. It was like we would laugh, and because there was a Red Bull camp before this, and it was like a blind date, we were calling it. It was so funny, like just in a room, okay, in coaching, just like, what's your name? My name's no, but it was pretty funny. But we just got on like house on fire, like two Aussies just love surfing, hanging out, trying to win heats, like surfing Cloudbreak, hanging out in Fiji. It was sick. We had a hell time. So that's Rossi, and he just injected some good fun energy for sure. Then I had Owen Milne, who's surfing Australia. I've linked up with him, and funnily enough, he's from Central Coast, like Copa, pretty much my hometown. And Milne was filming, so he's like, but again, just some good Australian banter. He's definitely got some fun energy about him. And then I had Fletchy just holding it down. Ryan Fletcher, everyone's seen his face all over when Mick and Wilco and Owen, he was running the Rip Curl, and now he's on the other side. Works with my agency, and yeah, so they sent him on the road this year with me, which has been epic. He's obviously so well-rounded and knows so much of this industry and can help me out in whatever way I want to go. So he was here, and he keeps it a bit more serious. Like, he's super fun, don't get me wrong, but he's just like keeps us all level-headed. And then I had Austin as well, who is I've been dating Austin for 2 years now, and he's just fun. Like, we're just kids figuring it out, like trying to have a relationship in the most spotlight of our careers, and yeah, it's such a trip to be able to share it with him, and yeah, he's just like a best friend.
Very cool. And as you said, it's like that is part of growing up, and probably for you in particular, having a team kind of thrust upon you, to you taking a bit more agency and going, well, no, I'm going to build the team the way that I want it. And it obviously worked out really well for you. Long off season coming up, but switching gears to next season, I mean, we are changing the way we determine world champions. We're doing a version of the aggregate ranking. We're starting at Bells Beach in Australia. We're finishing at the Bonsai Pipeline. You came into the finals this year ranked world number 1. So when you think about this year versus next year, is there a huge difference to your approach, or you just think that, hey, the formula is working and this is going to be the first of many world titles for me?
It's definitely the same approach for sure. Like, you get results, you want results, and I felt good this year. I felt free, and I was just always in a fairly good headspace every time I entered the water, which is my main goal when creating a team and just traveling around the world trying to surf heats. So that stuff will all stay the same. I'll kind of run the same program, and then and I'm excited. I think you like the change up, the novelty of the Final Five kind of being gone and it going back to more traditional ways is cool. And then the deciding at pipe, I love it. Obviously, I love getting barreled. I love being scared, and it's just a huge test. It's great.
Awesome. Now, you and I got to run into each other briefly in Fiji. I kept it very professional, very polite. With everything on the line, I don't want to sway you one way or another, but I have to say, between the bonsai pipeline this year, watching you do it live in Tahiti, and then again in Fiji, like, your backhand barrel riding is unbelievable. And I just wanted to take a moment and compliment you on that, because you seem so locked in on your backhand. You've clearly put a lot of work in, but you, as I said in the opening, like, it's not just the results you're getting on tour, it's these performances, and you're lifting everyone's surfing regardless of gender. And I just, it's amazing. It's awesome to watch.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. I really appreciate that. You watch a lot of surfing, so I
watch a lot
that.
of surfing.
You
No
watch
worries.
it, you do it, you get it, you breathe it. Nah, but I think, yeah, I don't know. Like, I never really was like, yep, backhand barrel riding's my strength. Watch this. I'm going to go and do this and that. And I was always just like, I actually kind of, I wasn't that comfortable with it at the start. So then I just started working on it. And I don't know, just started getting barreled, going left, enjoyed it. And just like, I don't know, every little like fine detail or technical thing to try and get better at, it's just like a whole nother journey and world. That's why surfing's epic. It's like a whole nother world of like trying to figure something out. And I don't know, we had the Olympics. Surfing Australia sent me to Tahiti so much. So those perfect barrels and watching the local boys there. And I mean, I surf with the best surfers in the world constantly. So watching them how to get barreled, like, yeah, it's like a place to get better at surfing on this tour for sure.
Well, if you ever do like a master class or write a book on backhand barrel riding, sign me up. And you know what? I think most surfers would say backhand tube riding, I need some help on. So we're gonna be getting insights from you. Before we let you go, because you've been working hard all day, and you should be very, very proud of what you accomplished. We do have a special finals edition lightning round. So we got 5 questions for you to answer as quickly as you can. If you could steal one piece of a competitor's repertoire from the finals, just one piece of their approach, who would it be and what would it be?
Wait, from each surfer or just one of them?
No, just one from any of them. So we got
Okay.
Betty Lou, Katie, Gabriella, Caroline. Whose would you take and which piece?
I'm going to say Caroline's consistently just a competitor. Like, she shows up and always gives herself a chance of like winning. And she just is like a deadly competitor. She's so competitively driven over the way that she surfs. Well, it looks like that she's just always so focused and switched on. Like, every single moment that comes, like a world title, a gold medal, she actually shows up and does it every time. And she knows it. It's the funniest thing. Like, she knows it.
That's a great answer. Pick one to do forever. Perfect barrels, perfect turns, or perfect airs.
I think perfect barrels.
I think we're
Left
all
and right.
contractually obligated to answer that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because barrels are just
go
sick because you can sit there and enjoy the view, you know? It's like, if you do so many turns, like when we go to lowers and that, your body gets so sore, twisting and turning.
That's a good answer. All right, next question. If we took all your highlights from the 2025 Championship Tour season and put them into a surf edit, what song would you want us to use over that edit?
Oh, gosh. I was listening to this song all year called Show Me Love. I don't know who it's by, I'm sorry, but because that was kind of like the tone to what I was listening to before I paddled out each time. So I would say that song.
Okay. There's Robin does that song, so that might be her. We'll find it. We'll put it in the show notes. Maybe. We have a longer off season than normal coming up. If you could go to one place for a free surf trip, where would you want to go?
Anywhere with pumping waves. I don't really care. It'd be sick to go. Honestly, Rip Curl's probably going to do some searching stuff, so I'm pretty keen for that. And wherever they take me I'm pretty psyched on that.
It's a great answer.
But
All right,
I didn't
last
really
one.
give
Then
you
we'll
an
let
answer.
okay.
That's a
No,
shitty
that's
answer,
fair.
sorry.
Well, I mean, I don't think the search allows you to give answers to that. You just say I'm going on the search. That works.
I would say the mentalities because there's so much variety, but it's just so crowded now.
It is tough now. It is tough. Good variety though. Okay, last one. Finish this sentence. Now that I'm world champion, the first thing I'm going to do when I get home is
Drive down the main drag and just scream with the trophy out the car with everybody there and say, "We did it." Oh wait, I was
Great
meant
answer.
to finish the sentence.
No, that's perfect. You finished the sentence. You finished the podcast.
See,
Molly
I don't
Picklum,
listen.
congratulations on the world title. And congratulations on the whole career, the whole season. You've been so inspiring and a very, very worthy world champion. We're fortunate to have you. Thanks for coming on the lineup. I hope your trip back home goes well, and I will catch you down the track.
Thanks, Dave. I'm sad it was short. I got to come back on and hang out with you guys. It's too fun. But
We'll do a
thank you.
longer
Thanks
one
for
in the
having me
future.
on.
No worries. Of course. All right, we have a special guest with us today, one of the most electrifying surfers on the planet, a blend of style, power, and progression that is, let's face it, unmatched at the moment. A standout on tour since his rookie season in 2018, a true surfer, and now, after yesterday, the 2025 men's world champion. We have Brazil's Yago Dora. Yago, congratulations, man, and thank you so much for coming on the lineup.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure.
Now, for people watching on YouTube, you got a hat on at the moment, but there's a photo going around that you got a fresh haircut since yesterday.
Yeah.
And word on the street is that Brazil soccer icon Ronaldo and you are friends, and you and him had a little wager about a haircut if you were to win the world title. Can you confirm or deny this?
Deny. I never met him actually, but he's my idol. And yeah, he was my favorite player growing up, and I remember him winning the World Cup for Brazil, rocking this haircut, and he scored 2 goals in the finals. And yeah, I was wearing number 9. I was wearing a yellow jersey, like the Brazil soccer team shirt, and I just said to my coach back in JB, I told him, we have to do something if I win. And I told him, okay, if I win, I'm gonna do the Ronaldo haircut. And I know I had to do it.
Well, I appreciate you clearing that up. And I think after yesterday and certainly in the coming weeks, you're going to be on his radar. So maybe you guys will have a different wager in the future. But let's get right into it. Less than 24 hours ago, you claimed the 2025 world title, defeating Griffin Colapinto in the opening final match of the Lexus WSL Finals presented by Corona Cero at Cloudbreak. We're 1 day since that happened. How are you personally feeling about what you achieved?
Yeah, I'm so happy with what I've done and the way I was able to surf yesterday. I'm just really proud of myself that I was able to do it and to close it out like that. And really proud of the whole year, of course, but just on that moment, I was able to cancel all the noise and surf freely and feel good in the heat. And I'm really proud of that, not even just the win, but just the way I felt out there I'm really proud of that.
I mentioned you're a surfer, and anytime we're talking to CT surfers on or off this podcast, your name always comes up as one of their favorites because, frankly, you just have it all. Forehand, backhand, airs, style, cars, barrel riding. And you entered the WSL Finals this season as the #1 ranked surfer. And if that were the case next year, you would have won the world title. But this is a unique format, the finals. You had to sit at the end of a linear progression format and watch all your contenders kind of approach you throughout the day. What were you feeling on the day? Were there nerves? Were you feeling rested? And how did you deal with those things?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the hardest thing for me on the finals day is watching someone like really clicked into rhythm and getting momentum each heat and just looking really good out there like Griffin was, and having to wait for that person to meet you in the final. They're all warmed up, they're ready, they know how the waves are how the waves are on that day. They've been on the water all day, so they've seen all the changes in conditions. They're understanding the lineup really well. So that was something I really had to prepare to. Just okay, I jumped super early in the water and I watched the heat prior for like 15 minutes in the channel because I wanted to see the waves from the water, and I got prepared to come out of the gates with a lot of intensity because I knew that was important to close it out in the first heat. And so yeah, I'm glad I was able to do it. You know, like I said, I'm proud that I was able to achieve that. That came out with the intensity and with the right decision making and wave selection. I was having the right approach on the waves I got, and yeah, I'm just really happy.
I think that everyone watching the finals, the millions of us online, the thousands of the people there in person, noticed that intensity from your first turn, basically. You came out of the gates lightning fast, big turns, big scores, and I think that woke everyone up in a big way. One of the things that everyone was talking about was how good your board looked. I believe you were on a Mayhem. You've been working with Matt Biolis and Lost Surfboards for years now. Can you tell us a little bit about your equipment that you chose for the final yesterday?
Yeah, so that board is a fresh one. It's a 6-1 step driver. The step driver is the model I use the most on tour. It's a kind of a step up from a driver, but I use it more on tour because we usually have pretty solid waves, you know. There's a lot of power on the waves we surf in all the venues pretty much. There's only a few that I end up riding the driver. I usually ride a 6.0 step driver, which is the same size as my regular shortboard, but just the model is made to hold more power and better quality waves. And yesterday I rode a 6.1, so 1 inch longer step driver. My beams are 19, 2.5. That one had 30 liters, I think. My 6.0 has 29.7 liters. I think the 6.1 had 30 liters. And that board I rode, I had like a 20-minute session on that board before the event. That was it. And then I got a couple waves on it and I was like, I'm gonna save it. This feels too good. And then I went back to the boat, put the board away, grabbed another board and continued surfing. And then for the contest, I was gonna ride my 6.0, but the waves started to pick up and get a lot more powerful. So I went up to the 6.1 and just felt magic from the first wave.
Well, now that 6.1 step driver is a world title winning board, does it get ridden anymore, or does that go in like a glass case somewhere for you to take care of forever?
I think I'm gonna save that board for next year. It's gonna stay at home. I have a few. I have like 5 magic boards from this season that I'm saving for next season.
I like it. You know, when you're in the water, it's just you, but every surfer and every CT surfer knows that it takes a community of support. And in Fiji, you had a good amount of people there supporting you. Can you talk to us about who you had there and what role each of them played to kind of prepare you for finals day?
Yeah, so I had my coach with me, Leandro, my girlfriend. I had my manager, Cortez, and I had my good friend, Loic Wirth, who's a very talented filmmaker. And yeah, it was a good excuse to bring him to film everything and just have one of my best friends around. And yeah, that was my little crew during the event. Gian also came for Lost Surfboards and he was hanging with us a lot. And just that crew was like our little bubble, you know. And my parents and my sister also came, but they were on their own program, you know, just watching from the outside. And I'm happy that they came to watch. But my team during the event was those people that I said, the people that have been by my side this whole season, and they watched every little step of the way. So nothing more fair than have them all here.
Obviously worked for you. You know, last night you achieved the world title. Do you and the team get to let your hair down and celebrate? Yeah, for sure. We had a big celebration here in Tavarua. I woke up not feeling so good today, but I'm starting to feel better. Lunch is served right there in the buffet, so
soon I'm gonna be eating a lot, and I'm gonna feel 100% again.
Good for you, and appreciate you doing the lineup as part of your work. Maybe it's helping on the rejuvenation front. Couple more questions before we let you go. In the last 10 years, you are now the 5th Brazilian male to win the world title. Gabriel won his first one in 2014, but he won a couple more after that. Adriano won in 2015, Italó 2019, Filipe won 2 throughout the finals era, and now you. I think any way you cut it, collectively, it's the most dominant national performance in history, and now you're the latest piece of that in terms of world championships. Do you consider yourself part of that group of surfers, or do you all feel a little bit separate in your own way?
Yeah, I don't know, because I've been watching these guys compete. They got on tour when they were super young, and they had a different pathway than me through their careers. And now I kind of consider myself part of it, because we're on the same tour. We're competing against each other. I just joined them on the list of world champions, so yeah, it's pretty cool to join that list. They have been massive role models for me. Just following their steps has helped me a lot, and it's good that you have someone to. I didn't have anyone show me the way, but just to use them as an inspiration and kind of study how they did it, it's pretty cool.
Have you gotten any messages from them, or did they let you into the exclusive Brazilian world champion WhatsApp group now?
I actually haven't touched my phone since the moment I went to the boat.
Smart man.
Yeah, and I was greeted by Italó here in the island, and he said we have a really good relationship. He's of course, incredible athlete. He's an inspiration, and it was really nice that he came here. He hugged me. He said congratulations. You can see he was really happy to see me achieve that, and I really respect that. And I'm so grateful to have a rival and friend like that.
I think a lot of people are happy for your world title, Yago. You've won it in the last year of the WSL finals era. We've announced next year we're going to be starting in Australia. We're going to be finishing at Pipeline. The world title and qualification will be decided by a version of aggregate rankings points. How do you feel about that? And I guess looking ahead to next year, do you feel like that particular format, the schedule that we've announced, suits your surfing? Is this the first of many world titles for Yago Dora?
Yeah, for sure. I think the last 2 years, I was thinking that the finals format was better suited for me, because I had a lot of events that I didn't historically do really good, and it was really hard for me to be leading the rankings in the end of the season. I was fighting for those 5th or 6th position the last 2 years, but now that I've leaded the rankings, and it just proved me that I'm able to win in the other format as well, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm really happy, I think, and I'm glad that I won now, because the finals is a pressure cooker, and I'm so happy that I actually won during the finals era instead of just the regular season one.
Well, now you get a crack to win it both. So I think we're all looking forward to seeing you next season. Before you go, we've got 5 more questions, but these are quick ones. This is a special edition, a finals edition of the lightning round. So we've got 5 questions for you to answer as quickly as you can. Okay. First question. If you could steal one piece of repertoire from another one of your finalists, so Italó, Jack, Griffin, Jordy, who would it be, and what part of their surfing would you want to steal?
I think I would get Jack's backside barrel riding.
Great choice.
He's the guru.
Next question. He is with the Vortex Shaman, as our friends at the Swellians call him. I don't know, man. You might be challenging him for that. You're pretty handy in the barrel as well. Next question. If you can only pick one forever, perfect barrels, perfect turns, or perfect airs, which would you choose?
Perfect barrels, for sure.
If we took all of your highlights from this competitive season and put it into an edit, what song would you want to play over that edit?
Oh, that's a good one. I think Benediction by Hot Natured. We've been listening to that song since California, and it was like the theme of the victory there and in Trestle. So yeah, we've been carrying that song after that, and we played here last night to celebrate. So maybe that would be the song.
Great choice. We have a long off season coming up. If you could travel to anywhere in the world for a free surf trip, where would you want to go?
I want to go to P-Pass this off season.
Okay. I'm going to challenge Rabo's backside Vortex Shaman. We go to P-Pass. All right, last question. Finish this sentence. Now that you am world champion, the first thing you're going to do when you get home is?
I'm going to have a parade when I go home.
Well deserved. Yago Dora, thank you so much for taking the time. Congratulations on your world title. I hope they let you off for lunch soon, and I look forward to catching up with you down the track, man.
Thank you, Dave. Of course, my pleasure.